Hey, welcome to another Star Citizen stream. We're on the 3.21.0 live environment, running patch 8779972. We're at the login screen, and we're just about to log into the live environment again. Not too hopeful about how well this is working. There's a lot of people complaining about this. Many problems. Excuse me. And yeah, I'm experiencing quite a few of them. Hopefully, I'm going to be joined shortly by my partner in crime, Inconspicuous Nugget. I say hopefully. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but hope he does. Because we're not going to be wasting time in live. We're going to go over to the EPTU, which is wave 4. Now, I'm naked. Why am I naked? Well, yesterday I spent quite a few hours, more than quite a few hours, trying to loot the goddamned Halloween helmets from the event. This is the last day of the event. Now then, where do I start with this? When a few days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, me and Nugget went to a bunker and looted. We did about, well, I did 16 to 18 bunkers, looted one helmet, and that was the Field Beret orange helmet. Nugget joined me on 2 or 3 of those bunkers, and he found another Field Beret helmet. Yesterday, oh, there it is. That's the only goddamn helmet I've managed to get back to my local inventory. Yesterday, I spent about 6 to 8 hours camping and farming a derelict outpost. Very good loot in the way of weapons and armors and all the other stuff. And I found about 4 or 5 helmets. And what I was doing, I was bed logging, then changing region, and then farming it again, and rinse and repeat. And I bed logged in the afternoon and had some dinner. And when I came back, it wouldn't log me back in. It just timed out. And when I logged back in again, it put me at Everest Harbour. And the ship was unknown status. So I'd lost everything. Now, according to CIG, it's not whether the helmets are in a local inventory, it's when you take them out of a box. So I did that. I stored them in the ship. Of course, lost the ship, lost everything. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I will get credit for looting the helmets. I'm really not sure. Because this software, you know about the whole rigmarole with the helmets, that they weren't included. CIG said, right, okay, the event is on, go out and loot the helmets. There were no helmets included in the game. So they've extended it until the 10th of November so that people have a chance to loot these helmets. I didn't start looting these helmets until 2 or 3 days ago. And people are complaining that the loot rate drop for the helmets after they fixed it is infinitely worse than it was beforehand, but I don't know how they can work that out because the helmets weren't included in the game. So I'm a little bit confused, and I have been out of the loop for 5 or 6 weeks. Not really keeping up on things, partly due to the state of the software, and it's a shit show. It really is a shit show. And Anyway, I'm getting round to why I talk too much. I'm getting round to why I'm naked. I'm naked because I went out yesterday in my ship. Oh no, sorry, 2 days ago I landed in my ship and somebody flew in through the hangar and let's go gallery here. Somebody flew in through the hangar while I was landing and tried to ram me and destroyed took all the engines off my ship. Turn it off. Ever since then, I've had a bug where a stone skin on the suit. Let's buy a stone skin. So every time I go out in my ship, it's now broken. And I've just had a quick word with Nugget, who said, "Oh yeah, that's a bug. They need to fix that." So even after you've claimed your ship, it's still broken, and that'll explain why. So yeah, fucking great, innit? H, Mac Flex, don't want any of these fucking things. In fact, I don't know what I want right now. I'm a unicorn. Yeah, right. So I'm not best pleased at this. I'm not best pleased at this at all. And all I'm doing is wasting goddamn time. See, I can't. I can't stack anything. I've got to split it individually. Let's have 3 of these. I'm really not best pleased with this. I mean, it's a fuck up of unbelievable proportions. And I need a backpack. I'll do that. I'll go get a backpack from the cargo centre. Are you T-posing there, darling? Okay. It is. It's a mess. And who cares? So went out yesterday, and I thought I'll just, a couple of hours before bedtime, I'll just go and don't suppose I can pick that up. Nah. I'll just go and see if I can loot any more helmets. And I went out in my ship, and it dropped from the sky like a stone and exploded. And I was in full gear, full everything, lost everything, and not for the first time yesterday. That was the second time yesterday. Due to this, just couldn't gain any altitude with the ship. So, I don't know. What do you do? What do you do? I'll quick buy one of these. I really don't know. I really don't know what to do. Okay, forgot we can't fucking split these. And somebody said, "Oh, put it in your backpack. You can split them in your backpack." You fucking can't. You can't do shit with it. It's fuck up. Oh, we'll fix it in 3.20 whatever. Yeah, right. Fucking fix it and make sure it stays fixed. It's annoying as fuck. It's annoying as fuck that you can't do the most basic of things. It's a fuck around on every level. And I lost so much yesterday. But then again, who cares? Who really fucking cares? it doesn't really matter. Because at the end of the day, you're going to lose everything anyway on the next wipe, so... But this, collecting these helmets is... So I got about 4 or 5 black cherry multi-tools yesterday. And look how many I've got now. Fucking none. You know. Huh. Yeah. It does annoy me. Oh shit, hang on. Pressed the wrong one. It does annoy me because, you know, I'm trying to get somewhere and the software is dead set on making sure I don't fucking do that. It really is. But at least I've got my silencers and shit. So I'm getting kitted out again. And I know it's not my usual attire, but what else can you do? You can't do anything, can you? Sad state of affairs. It's a really, really sad state of affairs. And better put one of these on. You can't progress. Oh shit. That gun's got no... We'll take an extra one. We'll just take one of them. You can't get anywhere because the software is working against you. I mean, it's a test and an alpha. You know, the little excuse for why everything's not right. It's an alpha, which it's always going to be an alpha if it never gets better, isn't it? However, before I go any further, I am going to check the stream. Just bear with me. However, that's working. However, right, so, where do we go from here? I'm wondering why these guns are all laying over the floor as well that you can't collect. So, whatever. Hangers and herbs. You see, I've not even done my usual testing schedule and gone through all the things I usually do because it's just been a waste of time. And when we got 3.18, it was fine. Although 3.18 was massively, massively fucked up. I'll claim my, well, not claim, I claimed it last night. So we're gonna, right, so it's hangar 7. Yeah. So I haven't really bothered. That's why I'm wearing shit armor and a hazard backpack, because it's a waste of time getting all your stuff together because you just lose it in the end. I should have realised. What is it? What day is it now? Friday. I should have realised on Wednesday there were that many people complaining of 30Ks, and I'm like, well, I've only had one 30K in like 3 days. I had two last night. One straight after I took off from Lawville, which is quite funny. Right. You know, it just goes against you in every way possible. It goes against you. Put those in there. Put those in there. Sort them out. We don't need anything else, do we? Well, actually, what we'll do is, I don't think we can carry any bottles. Fuck me, we can carry a bottle. Jesus, that's a turn up for the books. Right, so let's see if this works. Infinite cruise bug. I've reported this so many times, it's fucking unreal. And then carry that one. Ah, no bottle. The bottle's now invisible, so I don't think we'll be getting... Yeah, that's it. We can't carry a bottle now. We can't carry a bottle. Right, fine. Whatever. We'll just live with that. And that's another thing. I don't know. So, proof of the pudding is in the eating, excuse me. So we'll take off. I've only got 2 guns. Yeah, I've only got 2 guns because my other guns are missing. And they were missing before I claimed the ship. They've been missing since that fucking dickhead rammed me. Now, I fully expect I won't be able to take off. Yeah. I'm boosting. I'm pressing up. I'll give it some throttle, but it's not. You can see the speed that it's going up, and I have to boost to get up. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. The ship is very, very, very broken. However, I need Edmund. There's Edmund.
Thank you, and please visit again.
So the ship is still broken, which means it's going to be difficult to fly. I was trying to land it yesterday, and I was trying to land it where I know I should be landing, and it wouldn't go forward. It just couldn't maneuver the ship at all. It just dropped into the water and exploded on impact. So it's difficult. It is really difficult. And there's something wrong with the HUD. It keeps going blurry, and it loses. It doesn't lose target. Well, it does lose target, but you know, you lose the name and the distance to your target with the quantum drive. I'm going to put the gear down so it is deployed, and I'm gonna leave it down. There's no fucking guarantee that this will work. Is that you, Nugget?
No, it's that fucking unicorn.
Hey, Mr. Salty McBastardface, how's it going? I'm just...
My snacks, drink, and some lava lamps, so I guess it's going alright.
Yeah, I'm streaming at the moment, mate, so... anyway, thanks thanks for coming on chat, because I want you to explain to me what this fucking bug is with the ship. Let me just give you a brief explanation. I was landing at Everest, and my ship hadn't touched the hangar floor, and some bastard flew in to the hangar and rammed me while I was landing. Now, ever since then, but it didn't blow my ship up, but oh, fucking hell, hang on. I'm gonna... Who the fuck has parked that there? It didn't blow my ship up, but it destroyed the engines. So I reclaimed my ship, and then 2 guns were missing. The bottom 2 guns were missing. And I found that each time I claimed my ship, the guns were missing. There's absolutely no fucking way that I could claim the ship and have it fully repaired. Now, you said, oh yeah, that's a bug. Can you explain that bug to me?
Oh, I was thinking it was a part where you store your ship and it stores damaged.
Right.
So when you actually store it, it stores the damaged items in long-term persistence.
Okay.
So even if you claim the ship, for example, the Cutlass Blacks had that issue really bad with the engines.
Right.
You'd lose one and you'd never get it back. But yeah, it's pretty much screwed until the next update if it's stored in LTP.
Fucking great. That means my ship's going to be fucked until 3.22 or whatever. Because now I've got... Hang on, I'll paste you the link to my stream so you can see this. If I'll whiz around my ship, right, you can see it's got 2 guns at the top, but where are the guns at the bottom? They're fucking missing. It's the engines have come back, but no guns. So I've always, doesn't matter whether I claim my ship or whatever, it's always in this state with only 2 guns. And it's a clusterfuck, is what it is. It really is.
Weird.
Fucking is.
So have you changed your guns at all, or are these like the stock guns?
These are the stock guns. These are the stock guns. And like I say, when you claim a ship, you're claiming a new ship, like it's brand new. But I'll never get these guns back. And it'll start to lose. As long as I go forward now, it's fine. But when I stop and if I try to land, it will drop like a fucking stone. And what I'll have to do is, the only way I can stop it from doing that is to use the boost. But it falls out of the sky like it's a rock. It really is fucked up. And
that is weird.
It's very unflyable. Very unflyable. Last night I tried to land it, and I went straight into the fucking water, and it blew up, and I lost everything, all my fucking gear and everything. That's on top of not being able to log in, and my ship being in an unknown state. It really fucking annoyed me. After spending that much time collecting everything. However, I did read on Spectrum that the only thing you need to do with these Halloween helmets is to loot them. Take them out of the container you found them in, and that triggers... You'll get credit for the helmet. You know, that's the trigger that means you have successfully looted a helmet. I got about 3 or 4 Fieldberry helmets and 1 Horror Hill helmet. Stored them on the ship, bed logged on the ship, couldn't fucking log back in. It just timed out. When I logged back in, it put me at Everest. So I thought, fuck this. So this was EU server. logged out, logged back in on a US server, put me at fucking Lawville. I'm like, what? What the fuck is going on? Logged out again, logged back in, put me at Everest. Each time the ship was unknown state. And, yeah, I'm really not fucking happy with this. This is the reason I haven't fucking played for 6 weeks. And there's everybody saying, oh yeah, they've got this now, they've got that, and it's a lot better now. It's not, it's fucking worse. I mean, what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to manage this when the software's so broken, it's just working against you?
I mean, you're supposed to just call your ship out, look at it, and log out.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, but that makes you a bad tester or something.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna try this again. Just for the sake of trying it, I thought while you were out doing whatever you needed to do, I would just fly to my favorite outpost and try this again. I know already, I'm wasting my time now, Nugget. I know already it's going to be a shit show like it was yesterday. Due to the way that the ship's working and everything else. I mean, it looks fine now, but I know when I come to land, it's going to be a case of dropping like a fucking stone. And I'll have to use the boost and hope that I can land before I run out of boost. There is no workaround that I can find.
So when you say you're landing, that just means you're going down, like the ship? You're applying downward thrust?
Not necessarily. I'll have to find out when I get there, and I'm sorry to be so vague, but it'll either drop out of the fucking sky of its own accord, or it'll maintain altitude, and I'll have to press down. But once I press down, that's it. I'm fucked. I've then got to use boost, or I've got to be able to land. Yesterday, I was talking to Chameleon yesterday, and I was telling him the story. But basically, what I did is I flew to the distance that I needed to fly, and there's several islands. Everything's changed. They've changed the shape of the island and the look of the island where I need to be. So I didn't exactly know which one it was. However, I went for a random island, landed on it, and just out of sheer fucking luck, it was the right one. Out of a dozen islands, it was the right one, and I'm like, fucking hell, that was unexpected. However, I had problems landing, and I'm going to have problems landing again. So I think we may be coming up. I'm looking for the water. It's just here. However, what I want to do, I'm going to stop now. You see, now I'm descending, and I haven't pressed down. All I've done is taken my finger off the button. All right, it's going down. It's going down, 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 down. And that's my space bar. Right? I'm pressing my space bar. I'm only pressing the space bar. And it's still going down. And the HUD's blurry. So we're still going down.
It's like it's in decoupled, but I see on the left, I can't really read it, but the
decoupled's on.
VTOL coupled.
Yeah.
Try toggling it.
What, the decoupled?
Yeah, hit C, and then hit it again.
Still going down. VTOL mode. I tried all this yesterday, mate, to be honest.
I've seen this happen before, and it's really weird.
Yeah.
But it just eventually happens.
Now, this this is VTOL mode, and that's stopped it. That's made it stable.
Yeah, like
That
for some reason the state of decoupled and coupled or whatever you want to call it, it doesn't get saved properly. So the ship just acts like it's decoupled, but it's displaying that it's not.
right.
My 315 has done that before.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I want to just do this. Just bear with me. Find Edmund. Edmund is there. Edmund, I'm 71,000 from Edmund, so... Yeah, it's just getting used to this, and I need to be 105 kilometers away from it, but it's putting up with this, and I mean, I'm pressing the space bar now, and it's still fucking going down. It's descending. And I'm pressing the fucking space bar. Right, now if I do boost, it will go up. See, it's going up now. But that's the only way I can fucking make it go up. And this is...
I don't know what, but I do know atmospheric flight kind of changed a little bit. Or
Right.
at least the ships did. So they act differently. For example, the 600 and I think it was the Taurus I tried. If I flip them upside down or a certain orientation that isn't realistic for the thrusters, it also just kind of doesn't listen to where you're telling it to go.
Well, this is the 30th century, where computers are in control of everything, so, you know, it doesn't matter what the orientation of your ship is. You're not flying like a mechanical contraption from the 1930s, are you? You're flying a 30th fucking century ship that's all singing, all fucking dancing. I don't, you know, the realism they're putting into this is fucking CIG logic all over again. How far away from... See, now we're dropping again. Now we're dropping like a fucking stone again. And I haven't touched the decoupled mode. Let me try this again. Now we're dropping like shit now. Fucking thing. Let me just see how far I am. 92, okay. It's really annoying because obviously if I was over land I wouldn't give a fuck, but I'm not. I'm over an ocean now, so if I hit the water I'm dead. Unless I can land on an island, and you can see all these fucking islands below. Which one's the right one? Well, take your pick. I can't fucking believe I found the right island yesterday. By absolute fucking chance. You know.
I can barely see through the fog. So.
Right, mate. I'll get a little bit lower. So I knew... Where am I? 100. I knew the... Is this it? This might be it. Although I doubt it. That's not it. It's definitely not it. I'm gonna have to make a... This isn't it.
Have you tried adjusting your speed?
Oh, mate. So I've landed. How far away am I from? I'm at the more or less the right distance, but right, watch this. Spacebar won't take off. You can see the ship. You know, watch the usage, right? If you watch the usage down here, I'll press the spacebar. It's now 3084. Press the spacebar, goes up to 3124, lifts slightly, but doesn't lift off the ground. If I press boost,
Go to F4.
Go to F4, right?
Yeah, external.
Yeah, that's F4.
And then just try to lift off, but it's delayed on your screen, so I'm still waiting.
Right, so I'm on the ground. I'm in F4. You can see the thrusters. Yeah, that's me trying to take off. That's just the space bar. And it won't take off. If I press the boost, it will. Huh? That's space bar off.
Doesn't take off in
Nope.
VTOL either?
It is in VTOL, mate. VTOL's on. Yeah? That VTOL, I mean, you can hardly fucking tell. This is another complaint I've got. You can't fucking tell when it's on or off because of the colours that they've used. It's absolutely fucking senseless. Right? That should be, that's VTOL on. In fact, let me go F4 again. That's VTOL off. Right? And when I try and take off, that's spacebar only. That's with VTOL off. I put VTOL on, you'll see the VTOL on, all the fucking thrusters come open. Spacebar again, same fucking thing. Huh? Now, I've done all this yesterday, I did all this testing. Decoupled mode, turn decoupled mode off. We'll go, and that's on. That's spacebar, won't take off. And then I'll turn VTOL off. Again, that's the spacebar trying to take off.
I don't see anything broken. Have you gone through the list of your shipboard items to see if anything's damaged or broken?
Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a good look. Everything's at 100. Health 100. This is a newly claimed ship. The last thing I did last night before I logged out was claim my ship. This is the first time I've used it since I claimed it. So it should be a brand new fucking ship. However, I've got 2 guns missing and I've got this problem. And I haven't tried any other ships to see if they're broken, because I only want to fly this one. But what the fuck's going on? So, just to give you another, it doesn't matter whether decouple mode's on or off. Right, I'll put both VTOL. Oh, great. I've got a radar lock, which tells me where I need to fucking be. Brilliant. So, let me just get out of this. I'm going to have to blow this fucking ship up. Strip for me, babe. Strip for you. Where's... So that's where I need to be, right? That is where I need to be. And there's the island. Brilliant. Brilliant. But this is a... Oh, fuck. Wrong one. This, because of the ship is hard to manage and control. And, you know what it's like testing. You go through all the permutations of what's possible. And yesterday I did this, and nothing made a fucking difference. Nothing at all. I'm gonna have to use the boost to take off. Now watch this. Spacebar, take off, boost, and then boost takes it off. Takes it off the ground. However, I'm gonna have to watch what I'm doing now, because I'll drop like a fucking stone if I'm not careful.
I do remember seeing a dev tracker post earlier when I checked that said something about vehicle weights are making it very impossible to fly in
Yep.
atmosphere.
Yep. So this is the island I need to be on. Although I'm not rightly sure. I think it's this one. We'll try this. Is it that one? We'll try this one first. Yeah, it is this one. Oh, fuck. Boost, boost, boost. See, it drops like a fucking rock.
Oh, that was for EPTU.
Right.
The ship mass reduction in EPTU is negatively impacting atmospheric flight speeds.
Yeah. No fucking shit. Right, so basically, I'm here. This island is 105.4 kilometers away from mining station Edmund on heading 314. And this is the best outpost. You might want to make a note of that, but this is the best outpost I know of for looting. It really is fucking good. Right, now I need to look for baddies. Should be about 4 of them. It's not so easy to see them in daylight either. You've got to. Oh, there's another 2. Oh, and there's some more over there. And there's only half a dozen of them, six to 8 of them maximum. The 2 or 3 occasions that I was here yesterday, there was only 4 or 5.
There's a ship that's supposed to bring new ones, but it was broken.
That was the one that I saw. That was the one that told me which island I needed to be on. You know, the one that
Yeah.
turned up. That tells you where the island is. The landing pad is sort of there in that area. That's where the ship will land. But I'm having that much fucking problems maneuvering the ship that I'm not going to put it on the landing pad. And I usually put it on the landing pad to stop the enemy landing more ships. Because on occasion they do turn up, but that one just fucked off. And instead of chasing it and destroying it, I preferred to land on the island. If it comes back, I'll just destroy it again. However, that's it for now. What I'm going to do is go out for a wander, see if I can fucking loot anything, and because that's it. That's all I need. That's all I want to do is loot the loot the ship, loot the helmet. Sorry. Right, so that's me, and I've got full ammo. I'm gonna get out of here. This is a little bit further away than usual. But I looted shitloads of stuff yesterday, mate. Fucking loads. I had Dollarvine and fucking multi-tools and all sorts of shit coming out of my ears. The ship, you know, I had sort of 15, 20 enemy armors, weapons, you fucking name it. I had all sorts, and I lost it all. All of it. Just fucking lost it. Because of some fucked up whatever bug, I don't know.
I mean, you remember I told you about how I found the masks, right?
Remind me?
I basically sat in a broken bunker for quite some time.
Right. Yeah, you did. I remember that.
Yeah, I actually sat in the bunker long enough for my ship to overheat and the cooler to die. When I got back in the ship, I managed to get it to go up above the bunker, and then it just fell back on the ground.
Yeah.
And luckily, it didn't explode.
Yeah. With this being the, and I don't know when it's going to end, and I don't know if the masks are still lootable today. I haven't got a fucking clue.
Well, the masks stopped being in the pool when? I guess when the event is over, or are they just normally in the pool anyway?
Don't know. Really don't know. They said the 10th, but they haven't given a date. They haven't given a date and they haven't given a time. Sorry.
Well, I'm guessing it would be related to the server time. So it says it's Friday, November 10th. I guess it's 7:43 in the morning.
Hang on a minute. Where's it say? Where's it gives me the server date on here?
Display info.
Universe. Yeah. Universe time. It says Wednesday, February the 24th. Server time, Friday, November the 10th, 7:43. Right. Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna have a look around for crates and stuff. And I don't really fucking care, to be honest. But I'm just gonna have a look around. It is a big fucking waste of time. I know it's a big waste of time.
I mean, at least the EPTU has food rockets.
Yeah. Let me see if do you remember my multi-tool that wouldn't work? I changed the multi-tool and it fucking worked straight off. It was just that multi-tool that was fucked, and I don't know why. I really haven't got a fucking clue why that didn't work and other ones did.
I'm going to go with database issues.
Yeah, there's one here.
That's rather disappointing, as Kelto does not sell bullets.
Huh. Kelto. And the sound is fucked up. And I can't explain it. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Everything's fucked up about this. And I said to myself, after I logged out yesterday, this is exactly the fucking reason why I stopped playing. Because I thought, I'll give it time. I'll give them time to sort everything out. And it's fucking worse than it ever was before. It really is.
I mean, I get about 15 frames of new Babbage on this old 2060 laptop.
Yeah.
But if I go to the Expo Center where IAE is, somehow I manage to get 50 to 60.
Right. It's black cherry. Well, we're having that. It's demoralizing, is what it is. It's honestly, it's fucked up. I want anything else from there. I'm not even going to bother collecting the fucking bodies. Although, actually, if he's got a gun, and he has got a gun, we'll take his. I'll take one of these as well. But you know, you waste so much fucking time on this, and oh, another black cherry. In fact, what I'll do is put that in there. You waste so much time on this and get nowhere. You report the problems, and it's up to CIG whether they address it or not. You just feel like you are wasting your time. You think, what's the point? What's the point? You know, they ask you to test and report, you test and report, and they don't do fuck all about it. So they add it to the list, or not? Don't add it to the list. I mean, what's going on? I had fucking loads of drinks yesterday as well. Loads and loads of different types of crews. Yeah, I found something out yesterday I've never noticed. I'll show you. Watch this shit. There's a little Anderson shelter. And usually I jump up on the top and jump through the roof. However, I found this out. Shoot the locks, shoot the hinges, sorry. Hang on. That's one. That's two. Now, I should have shown you this first, but if I go up to this door, it would have said locked before I shot the hinges. But now you've shot the hinges, you can just open the door. And there you go.
You can also cut them with the cutter multi-tool bit.
Fuck that, just use a gun, mate. It's a lot quicker. Not much messing around. Ah, here's a crate. Let's have a look, see what they've got. No fucking, what's this? Parasite Dark Birth replica helmet. That's not a Halloween helmet, is it? I've seen that before. That's the one with the eye hanging out of it. So they've got the Star Kitten. Yeah, whatever. Actually, no, I won't take that. Where's the? Not that side. It's there. So there's only one crate in here so far. Hello, where's the? Oh no, two crates. I'm annoyed. I'm really annoyed because I spent all that fucking time looting those helmets only to fucking lose them. And I wasn't sure whether I'd get credited for them or not, but apparently I will, as long as I took them out of the container I found them in.
Yeah, like if I put a helmet in the crate and you just so happen to show up and loot it, it doesn't count.
Right. So it's got to be one that you've found that hasn't been touched.
Yeah. So, I mean, really the only way to tell that is if it just says loot, not close. But yeah, if I open the box, but you take it, I think that still counts. But some people have been assholes and just take the helmet out and then put it back in.
Right. Well, that's not going to happen here because not many people know about this fucking place. So, really don't fucking care. But I was reading a Spectrum post earlier. No, that's not a fucking Claudio helmet, an Adventure helmet. Bag of shite. And people were saying that the helmets, first of all, they didn't include them in the game. So they said go out and loot them, and you couldn't because they just didn't fucking include them. And then people are saying that the loot rate has drastically decreased from what it was. Well, if they didn't include them in the game, how can it fucking be decreased from what it was? Because they weren't even included in the game. So I don't know what they mean by that, but obviously they mean something. There's nothing there.
So, as far as I know, what happened is the event started. You could loot the helmets.
Yep. Okay.
They were there or something. Anyway, the golden ticket event came. You could no longer loot the helmets. That's when I spent enough time to fill up a 315, which is harder than it sounds.
Yeah.
With nothing but subscriber stuff.
Uh-huh.
Not a single helmet.
Right.
After
Okay.
they fixed it and added it back into the loot pool, that's where we're at now.
Right. So up until the golden ticket event, they were lootable. I understand.
Correct.
I understand.
Found
Okay.
most of the bears and the hill horror most of the time before that.
Yeah. Now, the Vandal mask is the one that you need, correct?
I have technically already found it, but an update ate it.
Right. Well, as long as you looted it, you should get credit for it.
I think I was missing a grape and a regular dark bear, and that was it. And then the golden ticket event update hit, and I lost some masks. And then the second update after that hit, it fixed the drop rates, and I lost the Vandal.
Right. Well, according to... Hang on a minute. I'll get you... According to this Spectrum post, I'm just giving you the link now, basically says the trigger event fires off when players pull the headwear out of a lootable box, crate, whatever. So trading it to another person won't count. So it's only the person that takes it from the container it's in that counts. And I mean, that's what I've done. I've lost all the fucking helmets that I ever looted, except for one. And I'm really fucking hoping that that I get credited for that, or else it's just been a complete fucking waste of time. And there's more than enough people saying that this event is a complete clusterfuck.
Well, I mean, it's like, okay, if that's a trigger, why doesn't it work like the other things? And why don't we receive credits and hangar entitlements or whatever as we're looting these things? You know, I mean, there's the 24-hour delay usually with some things,
Yeah.
but you'll get your badge and you get your whatever, you know, the right to buy a glaive. So
Yeah.
if this event has developer support, why are we waiting to see if we triggered the looting mechanic? I mean, it should just update.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know why CIG fuck everything up that they touch. It just seems so amateur, you know, in the way that they work. They've got no kind of structure or sensibility in what they're doing. It doesn't make fucking sense. It's as if they want to piss people off on purpose. Because if it was me and somebody said, your software's shit, and they have, you know, I've had people come to me. I remember one particular guy, he had a specific setup on his Linux system. And I don't know why he was doing this, but it's entirely up to him. And he used my software to install Slackware Linux, and he was doing it in a way that wiped his fucking root partition. And he said, yeah, your software's fucking wiping my root partition. I said, don't be fucking stupid. If you follow the instructions, it works perfectly. I said, yeah, but I don't want to follow your instructions. I want to do it my way. And when he explained what he was doing, I said, now I understand what's going wrong. And I rewrote the whole fucking procedure for creating and setting up your partitions because of this one guy, because I thought if anybody else does anything similar to that, they're going to have the same problem. And it took me, I don't know.
yes, your installer expected separate partitions for, you know, home and your shit, basically.
He had about fucking 7 or 8 partitions, and my software relies on being able to find the root partition through just a /, which is root in Linux. But what I had to do is identify it by other means. And I had to go through a series of if-else, and there's about 3 if-elses. So you try the most common, and if it isn't that, you try the next. And if you don't do that, I'd have to look at the code to remember. This was quite a few years ago. I'd have to look at the code to remember how exactly I did it. But basically, in my software now, there can be no fucking doubt as to which the root partition is. And it took me, I don't know, 3 days of rewriting and testing. But I nailed it in the end. And it was just because of one guy. One fucking person came forward and said, this is what's happening. You know, usually software developers would say, well, if you're not following my instructions, fuck you. You know, I'm not bothered. But I didn't. Because Linux is you know, there's no set way of setting things up. Everybody does it their own way. Unless you're using a distribution that does it all for you, and then it's all the same. Slackware's not like that. You've got to do it all yourself. Anyway, I changed everything. You know, spent 3 days fixing it because of one person. Now, there has been occasions over the past decade where a few people have come forward and said this ain't working, and I've done the same. I fixed it so it was working, and it stayed fucking fixed. So every problem I've ever come across, I've made sure that it can't be a problem again, and I've made fucking sure that it's never returns, because the code that I changed, I updated into the build system, so the build system uses it as well. And I'll never ever have that issue again. And that's the way I work. And I can't understand why these fucking problems keep coming back. They say they fixed something, and we know CIG say it's fixed, and it hasn't been fixed. This happens 9 times out of 10. But the things that they do fix, like getting stuck in your pilot seat, how many times has that been a fucking problem over the years? They just keep coming back and back and back. And I'm thinking, how can this happen? You fix it once, it should stay fixed. Now, CIG on occasion have said, oh yeah, but it's the domino effect. When something else changes, it has an effect on something else. Well, it shouldn't have. Because the code that you're writing should be, it should be taking the fixed version into account, and it shouldn't have any effect. Either people are writing software and not looking at the state of the code for the software they're writing, and therefore fucking things up, or nobody cares. You know, as long as it works in my little fucking bubble, I'll send it off to the builders. They can include it, and then they mash it all together, and along come these problems. It's a fuck. You know, you don't work like that. If you've got something that's breaking something, you fix it and make sure it doesn't break anything else. That's sensible. That's the way forward.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. I get that it's an alpha and things are incomplete, but some of these things are meant to be not so incomplete. And I don't understand why they're left like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what does their QA team actually do? I mean, it's before they go out and release the patch, you know, it has to pass whatever tests. I mean,
Yeah. Maybe they have some kind of testing software that says everything's okay, that doesn't really test it. You know, they are lazy. They are really, really fucking lazy at CIG. And you can tell by the way that they do things. The amount of time it takes them to get around to looking into problems. You know, you'd think they were the fucking US Senate trying to agree on a law or something. Or whatever. Oh, I thought one of those would be a helmet, but it isn't. I think I'm fucking wasting my time here, to be honest, mate. I think it's over. I don't think I'm going to loot any more helmets. Oracle Twilight, and yeah, whatever.
it's just some of the things they do. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know. It seems really obvious to me. And
Yep, to me too, mate.
I'm wondering why. It's like, am I just stupid and it's not that simple, or is it really just that simple?
I don't think, to be quite honest, I don't think it's you who's stupid.
I mean, for example, regarding the helmets,
Yeah.
you know, if this is triggered by something in the game engine telling something, hey, we looted a mask, and they already have the functionality to add things to your hangar, to, you know, your account, add Spectrum badges. Why aren't these helmets just being added if that's true?
Yeah.
If that actually is what's happening?
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't disagree with you, mate. I really can't disagree with you. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It really doesn't. It's like sending somebody into a room with a lot of bare electrical wires and saying, touch them all, see which one electrocutes you. There will be one that kills you, but you've got to touch them all. And somebody would say, are you fucking crazy? Risk of killing myself. You can fuck off. Nobody would do it. Likewise, if you said to somebody, oh yeah, this software is a game in the making and it is going to waste your time and render all your time and effort and progress useless, you would say, well, I'm not going to fucking bother until you fix it then. Right, it's fixed. So you try it again, it's not fixed. You go back to them, it's not fixed. Oh, well, we fixed it. Must be something wrong with your fucking setup. Yeah, right. It's bollocks. It's complete bollocks. And this is why I left it alone for a while. Well, one of the reasons. The other reason was I was building new software for the Raspberry Pi 5, which I'm still fucking waiting to be delivered, and I probably will be until 2024. Bastards. It's funny, the Raspberry Pi 5 was announced on the 28th of September. It was released on the 23rd of October. Now, I left it a couple of days, and I think I ordered my Raspberry Pi on the 1st of October. And they give me a delivery date of November. That changed to December after 24 hours, and 2 days after that, it said early next year. Because, get this is really funny. If you were a subscriber to the official Raspberry Pi magazines, you get pushed to the front of the queue. So people subscribed to the magazines got pushed to the front of the queue. So everybody else who's not a subscriber gets pushed back in the queue. And that's why it went from delivery time November, December 2024. And
Wow.
yeah, it's about $3, $4, $5 to subscribe to this magazine. So of course people are going to pay that in order to get their stuff earlier than everybody else. Great for the magazine, but you know, for those who don't want to be forced to subscribe, they're having to wait longer. I don't care, but that's exactly how it is.
I'm curious, you ever looked at like the Pine stuff?
Yeah. Not a fan.
Why not?
When the Pine ProBook is supposed to be a really, really good piece of kit. And it wasn't the hardware, it was the fucking firmware that was fucked. Now, there was a Pine 64 Pro that they brought out. And I did think about getting it, but that again, it was the firmware that made it was messy and it didn't work properly. And they didn't seem to be progressing on that very quickly. It's completely open source, right? So the firmware you can write yourself if you can be bothered. I didn't want to get into that because I was concentrating on the Raspberry Pi. And the real honest major reason is every time I looked at a new device, the Slackware developers on the arms side would support it first, right? So if I announced that I was going to support, for example, the orange pie, they would get an orange pie and announce that it was now officially supported. I thought, well, I'm fucking wasting my time here trying to support any other device. Did it with the Hummingbird from Solid Run, which is another ARM device, a really nice little good idea, which was properly supported by the company. And unfortunately, that didn't take off. It only had a very, very small user base. So after about sort of 3 or 4 years, I stopped supporting that because it just wasn't worth it. I could tell by the download figures that not many people were using it. However, on the Orange Pi, I announced that I was going to support the Orange Pi, and lo and behold, one of the developers asked me the question, "Are you going to support the Orange Pi?" And I said, "Yeah." Next thing I know, without any announcement, they're officially supporting the Orange Pi. And stupid me helped them get the devices for free. You know, they call them samples. You know, the company, if you had a legitimate reason to request a sample, they would send you some free fucking samples. So the developers got all their fucking Orange Pi stuff for free. I had to buy mine. So yeah, I said to myself, I'm going to stop wasting my fucking time. If every time I announce I'm going to support a device, it becomes officially supported by the developers. So I might as well let them do it and not me. Saves me work and time and effort. I just stuck to the Raspberry Pi because since time immemorial, since the first Raspberry Pi was released, Slackware developers said I wouldn't piss on it if it was on fire. That was their attitude. And then that all changed in 2020 when money became an issue. Oh yeah, if I support the Raspberry Pi, I could actually ask for donations for supporting it. Now I'm going to officially support it. So I've been doing it for sort of 9-10 years. And then the developers decided they were going to officially support it because now it was worth doing. It's always been worth doing since fucking day one. And the only thing that changed the minds was the money entered the equation. Now, this is all open source and we work for free, and I've never charged a fucking penny for anything I do. Not one single fucking dime. Right? Nobody's ever paid me anything. And I continue, and I'm going to continue doing that. Totally intend to continue doing everything I do for absolutely no fee whatsoever. Anybody else can do what they fucking want. The funny thing is, when the Raspberry Pi, when they announced they were going to officially support the Raspberry Pi, they wanted me to assist in doing it. And I basically said, well, I've already got my own project, which I've been running for the past decade. Why would I want to stop that and start working for you? You charging money for it, getting all the fucking financial rewards for it, and me getting nothing for it. I might as well carry on doing what I'm doing. And I love doing what I'm doing. You know, I don't see any fucking reason why I should stop doing what I'm doing for myself and then do it for you. What's the point? Oh, but, you know, we'll give you a fancy title. We'll give you a Slackware contributor title. And you'll be elevated in the Linux community as somebody who's a bona fide fucking Slackware contributor. And I don't need no fucking fancy title. If I want a fancy title, I'll fucking get one myself. You know, it just seemed backward. It seemed like they were trying to cajole me into doing something, working for their goals instead of my own, for absolutely no fucking benefit other than they were now supporting it. So luckily, fucking timing was impeccable. Some guy comes along, an American guy, and he was wide-eyed and hungry and really interested in rubbing shoulders with the developers. You know, like some of these fucking Star Citizen backers are. They talk to a developer and they start fucking creaming themselves and jacking off. I spoke to DJ Bunting or Wikipedia or whatever. That's what this guy was like. He was real fucking egotist, and he still is. He came along, and I remember I used to do a podcast with the Slackware ARM developer. It's called Slack Chat. Season 1, and for the first couple of episodes of Season 2, it was just me and him doing this podcast. And then this other guy came along, and I thought to myself, this is my fucking ticket to get out of this shit. The explanation there is that the Slackware developer approached me and said, look, I've got this idea, I want to do this podcast, and I want you to be part of it because you're the guy that does the Raspberry Pi stuff. And I said, nah, I'm not into that. I don't want to do that. So then he came to me again, I don't know how long afterwards, a couple of weeks later or a month later or whatever, and he said, yeah, but we need to do this because of XYZ reasons. And I said, I'm still not interested. And then sometime later he came and he said, look, this is a model that I'm developing that I'm going to be using at work. If I can nail this and get this right, I'm then going to use it at work, and it's really going to help me. It really is. So if you can be part of it and do this, then that's basically why I want you to help me. And I said, okay, fine. I said, if that's how it is, I'll do this for you and help you work towards where you need to be. Having agreed to do it, I mean, it was supposed to be like a couple of hours a week or whenever we had time. And there were some days I was spending 5 or 6 fucking hours just fucking around with this podcast thing. And it became a real major part of my free time. It took up a lot of my free time. And I thought to myself, oh, and I had some of my friends listen to it who were also developers, Linux users, and they turned round and said, this isn't a podcast, this is a one-man show, and you're just there to agree with him. And more than one of my friends said that. You know, one of them said, the guy never fucking shuts up. When do you ever get a chance to speak? When are you going to include any of your stuff in this? Aren't you supposed to be doing it together? And I said, yeah. I said, well, you know, he announces that you're part of it, you say hello, and then he talks for the next fucking hour. And I said, yeah. And I got really fucking sick of it. I thought to myself, there's no reason for me to be there. So when this other guy came along, I saw that as an opportunity to fucking walk away and dump everything onto this other guy and let them do it. And that's what they've been doing ever since. And that's the whole story. That is the entire fucking story. So, yes, I was involved in up to a point, but I very soon realised that it was a fucking sham and that I needed to get out of there as soon as possible. So that's what I did. And I still do what I do in my own time as a hobby without anybody else's fucking help or input. Or anybody wasting my time. So, there's lots more involved than what I'm telling you, and some of it ain't pretty, shall we say. So you can imagine now that the Raspberry Pi is being officially supported, they don't want some cunt like me doing it as well, because it may attract attention and interest away from what they're doing. And I've very much felt that at times. You only have to make a fucking post on the official support forum saying something about the Raspberry Pi, and then the fucking daggers come out and they're trying to fucking discredit me and show me make me out to be a shithead or whatever. And I fucking hate that. And that's all down to this guy that came along, and he used to be a really nice guy. You could talk to him, you could have a laugh, you could discuss things, but now it's all fucking listen to me because I'm a developer, I'm a contributor, I'm an official contributor, and I've got the fucking title. I think the problem is that he's got an ego and delusions of fucking grandeur. He thinks he is somebody because of what he's doing. I've never ever thought that about myself. And when people start telling me how fucking fantastic the software is that I've built, just fuck off. Just fucking use it. I mean, I started off, right, when I started off this shit with the Raspberry Pi, I knew absolutely fucking nothing. Nothing about building installers, bootloaders, that kind of thing. I knew fuck all. I started from scratch. It took me 2 years, approximately 2 years, going from knowing absolutely nothing to being at a point where I can say, right now, this is stable, this is working, this is how I want it to be. 2 years, working mostly solo. But got there in the end.
Potato.
Absolutely. It's just something I do when I've got nothing else to do. And when Raspberry Pi brings out a new device, I write a shitload of software to build an installer for Slackware ARM Linux. Really do love Slackware. I mean, it's so logical, so straightforward, makes so much sense. I don't know if you've used like Debian or Ubuntu or any other Linux distribution, but click here to install. Do this, click that, and you can achieve anything with the click of a mouse. Slackware is completely fucking different, where it's got package management, right? This is the second biggest difference. The package management does not involve dependency checking. On Ubuntu, for example, you install whatever software and it will include every single dependency that it needs to work.
Yeah.
Whereas on Slackware, nah. You've got to know what those dependencies are and you've got to install them as well. And if they don't exist as packages already, you've got to build it yourself. And it's fucking simple. There's nothing difficult about building your own software from source. But Slackware doesn't include that by default. So just by the nature of Slackware, you learn as you go. You've got no other fucking choice. It is, in my opinion, the best educational tool for Linux that ever existed or will exist. Just because the Slackware team make it like it is, and it's the most Unix-like Linux distribution ever. There's nothing like it, and I fucking love Slackware. It's beautiful. That's why I keep using it. And that's number two biggest difference. Number one biggest difference is Slackware doesn't use System D. Although it incorporates certain elements of software that relies on System D, but it works around it. System D is a replacement for the init system, which is System 5, which is Unix and Linux's tried and tested init system that just fucking works. It uses run levels, whereas System D is more like, and this might make you laugh, but it's true. System D is more like a fucking Windows registry way of working. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of simpler, I guess, in a way, but it's also kind of annoying when you're used to all the old stuff and you got to use it and you're like, wait, how does this work? Why?
Each to their own,
just
man.
like, I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal, but I was just kind of looking at it and okay. I don't really tinker with that stuff anymore. I used to. I mean, I ran Arch for years.
Yeah, Arch is great.
Manjaro was the most recent thing that I tried, I think.
Manjaro. Yeah.
They seem to have issues figuring out how to do things properly. The whole rolling release bit, but I mean, it was cool. Like, for example, the kernels, you could install like multiple different ones and switch to them.
Yeah.
That was really nice, although it didn't work as well as expected.
That is one thing that I love about the ARM devices. One thing that I love is you need a separate kernel for every fucking ARM device. So you can't take, like, Slackware is a great example of this. When you download and install Slackware, it has a generic kernel that you boot from. It's called a huge kernel because it includes everything. You can build and use your own kernels. You can have 500 of the bastards if you want, or whatever number you create. You can use different kernels and load them up at boot time and pick and choose which one you use. And the one thing I love about the ARM devices is it needs a separate specific kernel for each different device. So if you and me have a Raspberry Pi 4 and I build a kernel, you can use that kernel. But if you have a Raspberry Pi 3, you can't fucking use that kernel because it's a different architecture, different set of hardware, different set of modules, and the modules need building specific to that device. I love that.
Yeah, but basically it was during my journeys with Linux on this laptop to see, if it would bring any more performance out of it.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing in Ubuntu and tried to install a specific kernel because, NVIDIA drivers,
Yeah.
It was a pain in the ass on Ubuntu. It didn't want to use the new kernel. It didn't want to use the old one. And it just completely ruined the system.
Oh, man.
Not,
yeah.
This is something that's designed to be user friendly. That's what I expect from Ubuntu. But Manjaro, it was just a box, and you clicked the list of kernels, and you could swap between them, and it was actually really cool.
Yeah.
When it worked.
Yeah. You see, that's what I like. I like problems. I do love when a problem comes along, I've got to solve it. I don't like any software to get the better of me. And this is, you're going to laugh, but even with software that's not supposed to fucking work, right? So it'll say, not designed to run on ARM platforms. If I can get the source, I'll rebuild the software to make it work on ARM platforms. And only specifically when a source only includes like a certain architecture like x86 or 64-bit Intel, that's a showstopper, right? You're never ever going to rebuild software that's only meant for a specific architecture. You're not going to be able to rebuild that on another architecture. And there's a few like that. And I don't know why people make source of that nature. You know, you need to make software source agnostic, so it really doesn't depend on fucking Intel platforms or anything else. You build it how you want to build it, because compilers these days they'll build for anything. You know, there's fucking loads of them these days. You can use fucking Go, Ninja, CMake, GCC. You can use fucking all sorts of shit to build software. And
Most people seem to build it on SDL nowadays.
Well, it's whatever gets the job done. I mean, I've done some really unorthodox shit in my time to get things working. Things that people like Linux purists would not agree with. And I don't tell them how I've done it. They just see the results.
I just want it to work.
Yeah, that's it. That's at the end of the day, that's it. I mean, I know.
Not be a total clusterfuck, and I just need it to work.
Yeah. I know in the past, we've now got Slackware ARM 64-bit, and fucking hell, I don't want to go into detail about what I've done in order to get people to support 64-bit ARM platform. Oracle Helmet Sea Green, that's not it. So I'm not finding any. I'm not surprised that I'm not finding any Halloween helmets because yesterday I spent a lot of time. I only looted like 4 or 5 helmets yesterday in sort of 6 to 8 hours. So I'm not fucking surprised that there isn't any popping up now, because they are quite rare. But yeah, I know in building the 64-bit ARM platform, the developers used other people's software. I even offered my own software, build scripts and all kinds of shit in order to get them to where they needed to be. It was refused a couple of times. I went straight to the developer and said, look, if you need my fucking build scripts, process, information, whatever, just ask. And nah, I'm fine. I've got my own plans. I'll do it my own way. Don't need your stuff. Right, fine. And I offered that twice. However, I can't remember when it was, sometime later, the main developer actually said to me, oh, I've just seen your build system and I am impressed. And I thought, right, so now he's got it. And I know where he got it from. And I know who gave it him. And that was all, I said to the guy, look, if you ever ask, just give it him. So, yeah. I don't know how much of it has been used or if it's been used at all. I just know that he's got access to it, which is, I didn't approach it head on. I went in from an angle. And, yeah. I know other processes and other people's software that's been used to make it happen. And I'm not going to discuss it because it's not my business, but, it's not all magic and brilliance. It's other people's work that's helped me and everybody else to get where they need to be. I have no problem with that. Even some software packages, and I'll admit this hold my hand up and fucking admit this anytime. I've taken Debian packages, for example, and rebuilt them to work on Slackware because Slackware didn't have any software available. So I fucking stole it from Debian. I've stole it from Fedora. I've stole it from fucking everywhere else that has it. I've even stole it from Red Hat to get things working. And it's just a means to an end. You know yourself doing what you do. It's not what you do, it's the result of what you do that matters. Nobody needs to know all the dirty ins and outs of what you've done to get where you need to be. But the software that you release for public consumption needs to be right and working.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to be in a state of which it can be tested.
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly does. Let me see. I'm not going to spend...
I could have sworn I had, Stoneface LMGs, and I think they've all turned into regular FMG, FS9s. What the hell? Words.
Jesus. Right. Yeah. No, some Inquisitor arms, Raven. Now, if memory serves me right, there's only one place you can buy that Raven shit. Let me just see. Arc L5 or Crew L4. One of those. I think it's Crew L4. No. Might be Arc L... it's one of those two. Where you can buy the Raven. Inquisitor Raven. And... yeah. Got any more boxes anywhere? Is there one up there? I think there is. There fucking is. So I need...
forgot all of my weapons, so I had to die, and then now I gotta fly back to where I was going.
Oh, good. I know it's a long story. There's a lot more to it than what I'm saying as well, but this is what I do for fun in my spare time. So you can imagine when I come across software that doesn't work, I'm questioning why after 11 fucking years it still doesn't work. Somebody's not doing the job properly. And I don't think they care to do the job properly. That's the sad thing about it with Star Citizen, because it's just fuck up after fuck up. And if it ain't a new one, it's something that existed that was fixed. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's something that was fixed that's now broken again, and I don't understand why.
Because...
reasons. Reasons that you don't know or will find out, because it's just too much time and trouble or whatever. I don't get it.
I mean, there's a time we can quote Jared. When it's ready to be released, we'll release it, and we don't answer when questions or something like that.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. You know, when we're going to see XYZ, when it's ready. And that is the best answer.
Is ready?
That's the best answer, when it's ready. But there is a limit. There is a limit, especially with rolling development software like Star Citizen. It's not the time they're taking, and it's not that they release fucking software that's fucked, because with development software you always expect problems. For me, it's the fact that they're not getting around to fixing these problems, and the same problems are happening over and over and over and over. And there seems to be no end of introducing problems, old and new, into the software. You'd think they'd learn, but they don't, which is evident in the software releases since they started releasing software. Because for me, it doesn't make sense. You know,
I don't think it's supposed to make sense.
if you, what fucking planet's that? Wow, is that Aberdeen? Your car, for example, you have a problem on your car, you take it to the garage, they fix the problem, but you then find, you've driven it around for a while, you then find that there's 3 other problems that didn't exist before they fixed it. You take it back, they fix the 3 problems, but 5 more problems pop up, unrelated. And depending on what they are, you keep taking it back to the garage and they keep fixing it, but you've now got infinitely more fucking problems than what you had with the one problem you started with. After a time, and this will be your decision, you will say, fuck these idiots. And you'll either get rid of the car and get another car, or you go to another garage. The problem with that analogy is there's a million garages you can take your car to. There's only one company building Star Citizen. So you've got to go with them. You've got to stick with what they're doing. And without anybody holding them to account or keeping them in check, they can just carry on doing it forevermore. Don't ever fall down there. I once fucking fell down there, couldn't get out of it. Yeah. So in a way, it's demoralizing when I see so many problems happening that don't seem to be getting fixed, and it's just a never-ending cycle of problems that shouldn't be happening or should get fixed and stay fixed. That's my main gripe. It is good fun when you get together with friends and have a bit of a laugh, but it's nothing serious. It can't be anything serious because of the issues with the software itself.
I mean, honestly, every time I've tried to play with friends, it usually ends in frustration and disappointment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, there's just something that could be simple by yourself, but then when you add friends into it, it becomes this complicated ordeal because something basic in the game doesn't work.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, there he is. I wonder where that guy had gone. Yeah, but, you know, with my tongue firmly in my cheek, I'm going to say it's an alpha nugget. It's an alpha. The old fucking chestnut.
I gotta get the voice right. It's an alpha.
It's an alpha, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's an alpha. Fucking hell.
I'm sorry, but I've seen alpha quality software and they add basic features that might be a little buggy, and then the next version it's fixed, and then they
Yep.
add their new feature.
Yep.
And of course, you could argue, well, these are all single player games.
Star Citizen is a single player game. It's built.
It should be, but it's not.
It's built and structured like a single player game. And the problem they have is with the multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean, if you could play this by yourself, you know, on your either your own server or self-hosted,
Uh-huh.
because I mean, think about it with their whatever they're trying to do with server meshing and streaming, and I mean, that's all going to power Quadrant 42, right?
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean, why?
I think,
Well, they
excuse
probably
me,
just want to record us and feed us into their quantum engine or whatever it is.
I think I'm trying to put myself in a position where I would be in this situation. And I think there's an element of too many cooks in the kitchen. And none of the cooks know what any of the other cooks are putting into the mix. But they're all working towards making a cake, but none of the chefs know what the other chefs are putting into the cake. So when they put it all together, it tastes not like a cake. It looks like a cake. It smells like a cake, but it doesn't fucking taste right. And that is
The artist painted the cake.
it's a weak example of what I think's going on. Just there's so much chaos and disarray, and like you say, what the fuck are QA doing? Because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that things aren't tested properly. It really doesn't. And I would love to know why. I'd absolutely
I mean,
love to know why.
I don't. I mean, what they do have is impressive. I mean, just coming in the door,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean anything if you've got a. I mean, if you go on any particular live server, chances are there's a bunch of foul-mouthed trolls somewhere, or a group of French people med gunning other people, and it's like you've got people saying, "Well, oh, they're just taking your stuff, you just whatever."
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I mean, this guy's sitting here med gunning me repeatedly. I log out and I log back in, and he's still med gunning.
Yeah. Yeah.
They leave this stuff for ages, and it's like, I mean, do people just not look at Star Citizen? They're just fuck that game. They just don't give it any attention.
Wait a
I
minute.
mean,
I don't know, mate. In answer to your question, I really don't know. I've just filled. I don't know if you were watching my stream, but I've just filled my fucking backpack up to 100%, and the next crate I open, it's 19%.
your backpack sometimes desyncs, so it may show back up the correct inventory later. My experience. But no, I had to turn off the stream because this laptop sucks.
Okay, mate. But yeah, I've just filled it up to capacity, and I thought, right, I'm gonna have to start picking and choosing what I loot now, and it's gone from 100% down to fucking 21%. I'm like, huh? How the fuck does that work? Let me go back to this crate I've just looted, see if the items are back in there. Nope. All the items that I previously took out of that crate are now gone.
Yeah, they're going to show up in your backpack with the last 99% inventory that you saw eventually.
Right, okay, good luck
Until
with.
then, it's just not going to work, or it's going to corrupt your backpack.
Well, good luck with that one. Because in my experience so far, once things are gone, that's it. You never see them again. And I'm a bit pissed because I had 2 black cherry multi-tools. I mean, it's fucking unbelievable the way that this software doesn't work.
Well, EPTU is 30 server FPS. There's nobody's on it.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm trying to transfer stuff now. I'm half expecting this to fuck up. There's something stopping it from transferring, and I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, it's the inventory contents are desynced.
seems to be this. Right. Maybe I should. There's no pending moves. There is no pending moves, so it is. Let me just try and.
Might show back up after a bed log.
Yeah, it's. I can see if you look at that. Oh no, you can't because you're not. I've got a med pen, and it looks like one med pen on top of another. Let me just compare. Nope, I'm talking shit. No, it's just one med pen that won't move, and that is the problem. Can't move. Yeah. Can't move it anywhere. Oh! Fuck me, you are right, Nugget. Jesus, man.
The inventory finally resynced.
Yeah. Yeah, it came up with 90%, and I've got my 2 Black Cherry multi-tools. Cool. All right.
Yeah, most problems in this game people get mad about can usually be solved with patience.
Yeah, I know that, but like I say, in my experience, once they're gone, they're gone. And I've had fuck knows how many items disappear and not turn up again. Like all my fucking missiles from Area 18. So I am gonna take off from here. What the fuck? I'm being
Being what?
targeted by somebody. But I don't know how. And I don't know why. But I'm not interested in killing anyone. All I'm interested in is getting some height, getting back to the station, and dumping all this stuff I've looted, which will be a novelty, because I've only done that fucking once or twice in the past 2 or 3 days. Fully expecting a 30k before I do. But if what you say is true, and I've got no reason to doubt it, but my ship is going to be fucked until the next update, that's unacceptable. Well, you've got other ships to use, but okay. What if I didn't have? What about these people that only buy the basic game pack, and that's the ship that's fucked? You know, I'm not thinking selfishly about my own wants, needs, and troubles. I'm thinking about every fucker else who has issues.
I mean, realistically, you can go rent an Andromeda.
Why would I want to do that when I've paid $250 to have one in my hangar?
Well, I know. I was just offering a realistic solution.
I did think of that.
Didn't involve grinding a bunch of your life away.
Yep.
I mean,
But that doesn't help me with the logging in problems, the 30Ks. It'll still happen whether I had a rented ship or not.
Yeah.
You know, it's a case of, is it worth it or not? Is it worth it for me to spend time testing, verifying and reporting the software? Is it worth it? Given that there's that many problems that don't get fixed.
Honestly, I don't think it's worth it because I mean, the last PTU wave I was a part of since wave one. I mean, the issues that I contributed to were reported by Evo, and they still persisted into live.
Yep.
It's just like, do what you're gonna say you're gonna do.
Yep.
Either a live service or it's an alpha. It can't be both.
They can't run an alpha and get people to pay for it without some marketing strategy and incentive to pay for it. And I think this is one of the issues. You know, they're running a live game and it's not subscription, it's donation, and they fucking milk that and they play on it, which I don't agree with. And, you know, that picture that Mav gave me, same ships but now in green. Give us more money, you dicks. That is the mentality. That is exactly the mentality. You know, pay for something over and over and over and over. More incentives to buy bigger ships. You only have to go in the concierge channel to look at the jerk off fucking look at my fleet pictures. I remember, was it May this year? I think it was May this year when I became concierge. And the very, very first impression I got from the concierge channel was a guy boasting about his fleet. Now, he must have been Legatus. He must have been fucking Legatus for the amount of ships and everything that he had. And I remember saying to him, if I didn't know any better, it sounds like you're bragging. I'm not bragging. It fucking sounds like it. No, I'm not bragging.
That's what concierge is. So you can go have a place to brag about your ships without being made fun of by poor people.
Yeah. I mean, you know, at the time, I had more or less the same ships I've got now. But not quite. I think I bought the Pisces Rescue and the Invictus Avenger. I think I bought them after I joined Concierge. And I bought various other bits as well, armors and fucking weapons and shit. Oh shit, that's the wrong button. But yeah, this guy, and I can't remember his name, but he had a fucking huge fleet. A fucking huge fleet. You know, what do they call it? The Javelin and everything else. And
I don't see the point. I mean, I get collecting one of each thing, but I mean, that's a really expensive beanie baby.
yeah. Yeah. And that was my first impression of Concierge, and there's been untold number of conversations of the same. I know one guy, mentioning no names, who said, I've put enough into this game to buy Legatus twice.
Okay.
And he said the only problem with that is admitting it to my wife. But she's okay with it. I'm thinking, well, why is it a fucking problem then? You know, you put more than $50,000 into this game. CIG don't love you for it. They just want you to carry on doing it.
No, you got to actually have an investor agreement, which apparently is NDA bound, but that does exist, supposedly.
Well,
I mean, they do have some sort of investment in. They do pay shareholders something. I remember reading.
Yeah.
They don't have very many because it's still Chris Roberts, privately owned, whatever.
Yep. Well, they might need a new fucking Pininfarina Ferrari or whatever, so buy Legatus.
All the new streamers that watch the Squadron 42 trailer can buy Legatus for me.
Yep.
I'll
Yeah, go
actually
on.
play the game so somebody knows it's fucking broken.
Buy Legatus. That's all you need to do. And then when you bought Legatus, carry on buying Legatus again. Keep piling it in. I mean, I want to see. Oh, why have I lost 10% health? And who's targeting me?
I don't know. It's just they clearly say it's like, you only have to spend $45 for the starter package, which is true, but it's like the creates this atmosphere that makes you think that your feedback towards development is valuable, but really it's just always
Bullshit.
been Chris Roberts' game.
It's
Talk
bullshit.
anybody's opinion.
If they really cared about people and the software, I mean, I'm not saying they don't have pride in what they do, because what they do is fucking awesome. The designers, and I'm excluding them from this because the designers, the people who create the ships and the planets and everything else, it all looks fucking awesome. It's the mechanics of it. It doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
And if they really cared about the work that they did, they'd make sure it was right.
I mean, what's to say that the live service couldn't have been whatever the hell that patch was that everybody loved? I don't know what patch it was because I wasn't here, but everybody says 3.14 or whatever, 3.17 is the best patch ever. Why isn't the live service on that? And then PTU is just rolling into the future until server meshing is done. I mean, does that not make sense if you're running a live service to run your most stable build? And if people really want to see what you're actually working on, they can go onto the PTU and do their thing.
I mean, for me, you mentioned it a couple of times already. What I would do if I was running it like this, where I had a test server and an alpha server for public consumption, I would keep the test server running for as long as I fucking needed to work out all the problems, get them absolutely perfect before I made it public. Now, that's not to say people on the test server couldn't continue to test. It would be continual testing as it is now. I just wouldn't release something that was fucked. And the list of issues that come up from the test server, I would absolutely make sure every single one of those issues was fixed before it went to the alpha server, to the live server. So you've got a running version of the software that's still alpha but works. And what you've said is the problem started in EPTU and they still made it to live. And that for me is unforgivable. There are many, many, many questions why problems don't get fixed on the test servers and make it through to the live servers. Why would that happen? So,
because they want to sell the ship. They want IAE to start.
well, fucking
Stuff like that.
sell the ships, but don't do it on in such a way that you're continually releasing shit to make money that doesn't work. It's the dream of what could be that sells this, not what it actually is. And I said that yesterday in my stream yesterday.
That's exactly right. I mean, I pledged more money because of what could be, not what was.
Yep.
That's why I'm pissed off.
Well, I what did I do?
I mean, that's my own fault, you know.
I
But it, I don't know.
Well, nobody tells you how to spend your money, mate. You know, you want to spend your money on dog shit, you buy dog shit. Nobody says that's wrong. Some people might say, fucking hell, I wouldn't do that, but they can't actually say you're out of your head. You spend your money how you like. I think going back, I mean, you'll see Scourge in our Discord. Scourge is an old friend of mine. I used to play Eve with Scourge. Spent many years in Eve with Scourge. When Star Citizen was announced, he got into the third-party ship market, and he made a lot of money selling ships. And I don't know whether he got given it or what the situation was, but he ended up giving me a game pack and a Avenger Stalker game pack, and it included Squadron 42, and he gave me that in March 2014, and I used that ship right up until 2023. And it was last Christmas that Chameleon said to me, I've started to get into Star Citizen. And I said, oh, yeah, I've got that. It's, not that fucking great. And he said, well, it looks really good. I said, to be honest, mate, I haven't fucking bothered with it for years. I've played the demos. I've had a bit of a look at it. It looks shit. It reminds me of fucking Wing Commander, blah, blah, blah. And he said, oh, no, it's completely different now. You want to try it. And I said, yeah, okay then. So I downloaded it, installed it, used the game pack that Scourge had given me, which I always have, never spent any fucking money on it whatsoever. And when Chameleon started playing it and I started playing it, I thought, yeah, this is quite good. This is really, really good. And then I decided, I thought, yeah, I realised the limitations of the Stalker. The cargo is like 0.6 SCU or whatever it is. And it was very, very limiting. So I said to myself, right, I'm going to have a look at the ships. I'm going to see which ones I need or which ones I want. And I got a list up. And I made a list of ships that I wanted. Now, I definitely wanted the fucking hell. What's the cargo version of the Avenger?
I'm not sure. I didn't think it had one.
I'm right in front of the ASOP terminal and I'm asking you questions, mate. Let me check. Titan. I said to myself, I definitely want a Titan because the fucking Avenger is the best looking ship in the game. I fucking love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I definitely want a Titan. I thought I definitely want a Pisces. So I bought a Titan and a Pisces. And then I got in with some friends, and one of them had Constellation Andromeda. And over a period of about an hour and a half, or maybe a bit longer than that, we did bunkers and service beacons. And I was on the turret doing the service beacons, and fucking hell did that ship impress me. We used, over a period of a few weeks, we used all kinds of ships, and the Andromeda was the one that impressed me most. I thought, I need one of these. I fucking need one. So I bought one. And then, of course, when I'd spent that much time on Star Citizen, that I got one of the awards for PTU champ, and I got the Corsair, I thought I'm gonna fucking upgrade this to a C2, and I did.
I still don't know what the hell that Aquila was for.
Ah, mate, you shouldn't be. I'm live streaming now. You shouldn't be talking about that.
Oh, I didn't sign no NDA. Not my fault they didn't come out with a comm link.
But yeah, so I've got the C2. I bought the C2. The C2 is supposed to be what, $300, and it cost me $130. And I rarely use it, but if I ever need to do any fucking huge cargo runs, I've got it. And if I ever need to load up a couple of tanks or whatever else will fit in it, I've got it. So I'm really happy with the ships I've got. I'm not sort of wanting for anything. And I wasn't so much sold on the dream of Star Citizen. It's my requirements for what I can envisage myself getting involved in. And I'm not going to buy every fucking ship that's going. I'm not going to buy all these warships with bombs and shit in, like the A1 Spirit that you've got.
No, it's just a loaner for the Zeus.
Yeah, but the A1 Spirit is a fucking damn good ship. It really is a damn good ship. If I
like the look of it. It looks too cheap. Like the wings.
Well, if I was a bastard and I was into going around bombing people, I'd get one, but I'm not. Instead, I bought an A2 in game, and I use that for for the very very few occasions where I want to be a bastard. Like when I'm bombing Ghost Hollow or something. I'm gonna log out of this now.
I'm attempting to do a bunker, but
You said you wanted to go on the EPTU and look at the doodah.
yeah, I'm just doing stuff. But I've got a retrieve consignment bunker in Crusader.
Right.
I'm doing an assessment if you want to hop on and join in.
Bear with me, mate. Bear with me. You are not online. Why are you not online? Have you removed me from friends again?
No, I had a bunch of deleted users.
Oh
and
shit,
I had a deleted user ask me
mate.
for a friend request.
You're not on. You're not on live, are you?
No, I'm on
No, that's why.
VEPTU.
That's why you're not showing up. XPG D Shong Ho. Who the fuck is that? Add to friends. Who the fuck is that? Right. Anyway, I'm going to stop the stream now. And I don't know whether the Halloween helmets are still available on the 10th or whether it's up to the 10th. Let me have a look at this link that
Well, to be fair, I did try to get you to come and join me for the bunkers because really I was just sitting there collecting them. I
Yeah.
had a bunch of duplicates.
No, what it was, I wasn't interested in the Halloween helmets.
I
Absolutely.
figured you would be interested in the Spectrum badge because
Yeah.
you like badges.
Yeah, that's what got me. So when I heard that there was a Spectrum badge, it says players who manage to secure all 9 horrific helmets will also earn a super scary Spectrum badge. And I thought, yeah, badges. I like badges. So this is what I've spent the past 2 or 3 days doing, collecting these helmets. But yeah, I got the Guava, Orange, Horror Hill, and a few other colours of the Fieldberry helmet, but no Vandal mask. And I think it's slightly cheap on CIG's part that they've said, right, all the helmets you've collected in the past don't count. You've got to collect them again. Well, what's the fucking point in collecting them the first time then?
I mean, you get more permanent copies, I guess. So if you lose one, you can be a vandal again.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for this. That's it for the stream. I'm going to end the stream now. Thanks.